Daniel Dubois has his coming of age fight and manages to stop Jarrell Miller. I think within the 12th round or the 10th round, one of them rounds, he managed to stop him just before the fight itself finished. And I think it was probably the best fight of the night. It was a back and forth action, and to be honest with you, I think this is probably one of the best ways, the best Daniel Dubois has looked. His movement was actually quite great. The way he was moving towards the perimeter of the ring was great. And the way he set up his punches were awesome. The combinations that he was throwing, and especially how effective he was to the body, was quite impressive. Now, I think it was early in the round. I think it was the third or the fourth round. Jarrell Miller, I think he hurt Daniel Dubois somewhat, and Daniel Dubois recovered, and then he fired back. And to be honest with you, in terms of this performance, I think this is the coming of age fight that we all waited for, because when he won his WBA regular title on that Don King card, I think he was in there against opposition that was just way too old and couldn't really match him. When he was in there with Joyce was just too experienced and too seasoned for him, and obviously beat him and made him quit. Broke his eye socket. When he's in there with Usyk was just levels above him, and he was just on another level in terms of being an elite fighter. And Daniel Dubois just was not on that level. But when he fought Jarrell Miller was a good enough test where he wasn't levels above him. They were on a similar level, but for Daniel Dubois to win this fight, he really had to dig deep, and he really had to show his mettle and his chin and his gas tank and his fitness and all these other facets of his game, and obviously his movement, his punching combination, like his punch combinations, all of these facets of his game, and he put it all together, and he managed to give a very good performance against Jarrell Miller. Now, Jarrell Miller, say what you want about him being on steroids or whatever, like, he's got an incredible chin. I mean, the shellacking that he took from Daniel Dubois would have stopped many heavyweights way before the 12th round or the 10th round or whenever he stopped him. It would have definitely have stopped them rounds before he got stopped. But Jarrell Miller's chin was incredible. He took so much shots, and not only did he take shots to the chin, he took shots to the body. Now, to be honest with you, Jarrell Miller's one of them fighters where a lot of fighters, when they put on weight, especially as heavyweights, it helps them take more shots. Now, an example of this is George Foreman. George Foreman in his early career, when he was fighting the likes of Jimmy Young, when he was fighting Muhammad Ali, when he was fighting Ron Lyle, all these other fighters, his chin wasn't terrible, but he could get buzzed and hurt more. But when he came back in his later career and he put on all this weight, and he came back on his second run as George Foreman, he was taking shots from the likes of Evander Holyfield, Tommy Morrison, obviously Shannon Briggs, all these fighters. He took flush shots from all of them, and none of it fazed him. None of them punches fazed him, even though he took flush shots, and he was a much older guy. And the reason is because of weight. The fact that when you carry a lot of weight, it helps insulate the shots, especially as a heavyweight. So there were fans out there that were saying stuff like, "Oh, if Jarrell Miller was 100 pounds lighter, he probably could have given Daniel Dubois a better fight." And to some extent, that's true, because his fitness would have been better. But I think it would have stopped him from being as effective as an opponent for Daniel Dubois, because a lot of reasons why he's so effective is because of his excess mass. It's very difficult to move Jarrell Miller around, because Jarrell Miller's just got a lot of strength. He's a big guy, and also the excess weight helps him take punches. And obviously, it must have helped him take the body shots as well, because he's got such a wide waist. It could insulate the punches that were coming at him. So, truth be told, if he was 100 pounds lighter, I don't think he would have been able to take the shots as well as he did in his current form. And I think Daniel Dubois might have stopped him earlier. But this was a great performance by Daniel Dubois. His punch selection, his movement, just everything that he showed was quite impressive. And Jarrell Miller, for all of his... you can hate him as much as you want, but you can't deny his chin. And there's another thing that you can't deny about him was his heart. The fact that he took all these shots, but he kept coming and he kept trying to win the fight. And unlike Deontay Wilder, who only in the 12th round came alive and tried putting it on Parker, Jarrell Miller, like several rounds, he knew he was behind, and he tried doing everything in his power to win the fight. To salvage the victory, because he knew that he wasn't delusional. He knew that Daniel Dubois was way ahead in terms of the scorecard. This was an entertaining fight in a lot of ways, and I think it was probably one of the best fights of the night because of the back and forth action. Two big young heavyweights going at it, and I'm glad that Daniel Dubois managed to stop him because if it would have went the whole 12 rounds without him being stopped, then there would have not been an exclamation mark on the actual performance. But the fact that he stopped him in the last round, the only unsatisfying part of it was that the ref jumped in way too quick. If the ref allowed him to fall on the floor, it would have been a lot more satisfying. But yeah, I think Daniel Dubois has given a career best performance last weekend, and I think it was easily one of the best performances of his career. So yeah, that's my opinion. In terms of Daniel Dubois, where he goes from here, I just think Daniel Dubois is definitely a top 10 heavyweight, but I don't think he's top 5. And I think he should rematch Joy Joyce and exercise them demons. But I don't think Frank Warren's going to make that fight happen because it's too risky. He doesn't want his prized heavyweight to lose again to Joe Joyce because that would be curtains for him because Joe Joyce is coming off 2 losses. While in terms of Jarrell Miller, I think Jarrell Miller should fight Wilder. I think they're both American and they're both coming off losses. So I think that would be the step in the right direction. Tell me what you think below and what do you think about Daniel Dubois' performance? And like and subscribe to the channel. I've got a lot more content coming your way. Peace.